Good morning, Rosa Miller, Director of Finance. Item C, we have number one, it's an ordinance to provide appropriations for water and sewer for January 1, 2012 to December 31st, 2012. The amount has not changed since presented. It's $25,175,487. And on Thursday, I believe, March 1st, we'll receive a recommendation for the authority, and also I will get with the Water and Sewer Department, and also I'll be in contact with the board too, and hopefully we'll be able to resolve it and get a firm second read and adoption at our next meeting.
Okay.
The next item is an ordinance an appropriation for the period January 1, 2012.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. We need a vote on the first read for the first ordinance.
I'll make a motion that we approve the first reading of this ordinance as presented.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to note for the record that I have concerns as well with the presentation, and especially after hearing from some of our Water and Sewer Authority members. But I know that if we go ahead and approve this, it'll move forward, but we can still make all the changes that we agree upon at that time for the second reading and get that in place in a timely fashion.
That is correct.
That's correct. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I also share that same concern because the folks on the Water Authority have been put in place to serve to communicate between the Board of Commissioners with RWR, and we have asked these citizens to serve with their time and talent and give us recommendations in terms of which direction we need to go. As all of us know, our water infrastructure is a very hot topic in Rockdale County. Any movement regarding the water department or the water infrastructure is a very serious concern. I am in favor of moving forward with this as a first read. Any other activity, as was stated earlier, between now and the next time this comes before us, I would hope that it will be organized and put together in a way that we can take a look at it, or at least makes it to your office, Mr. Chairman, for review so that we can have it and be able to make a quality decision as we move forward to the next meeting.
Thank you. Let me add my point of discussion here is that there's confusion as to the Water Authority's roles and responsibilities. Water Authority is not a stormwater authority, it's the Water Authority, and they are an advisory citizen committee to the RWR. They do not report to the Board of Commissioners. They report their recommendations to the Rockdale Water Resources. The Rockdale Water Resources is an employee of the county and not an employee of the authority. So we're working on that in terms of this task force has come forward. We're bringing recommendations as to how they will continue to function as a citizen advisory recommending body in the coming days. So those are my comments on that. So I want to call for the question at this time.
Mr. Chairman, can I clarify something? You mentioned a task force, and can you clarify who's on the task force?
Okay. The task force consists of Phyllis Turner, Elaine Nash, Bill Moran, excuse me, I stand to be corrected, Bill Moran, Dwight Wicks, and Greg Pritchett. That is the task force.
But those are the same people involved in the situation. Would it not be a good idea to have some outside people?
That task force has been put in place at the recommendation of the authority members and staff. So that they will be bringing a report in a few days. So and
I'm just going to restate my concern that when you have a problem and you put the very same people that are in the problem in charge on a task force, I don't know what you're going to come out with.
Well, we come out with a resolution.
But you appointed that without any consultation of the other two commissioners. So I just want that noted.
That's an administrative matter. That's an administrative matter. So we did what we did as administratively. So
it'll reflect on you, as most of the things do in Rockdale County. You're right.
Fine. So let's call for the question. All in favor of the first read, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
The next item is an ordinance to make and provide appropriation for the period January 1, 2012 and ending December 31st, 2012. And this is Stormwater's 2012 budget, and it's for $2,205,225. And this amount has not changed since February the 21st as presented. And this is the first read.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of the stormwater budget.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes. I want to note for the record that between the first and second reading, I hope that the Stormwater Department will review their overtime/contract labor for that department and hopefully come up with some resolutions that will be a little bit more efficient than the numbers that they presented initially.
Mr. Chairman, also, we were unable last week to hear from Mr. Walker, who is the department head of that particular department. Mr. Rothwell did a fine job standing in on his behalf, but I think due to the nature of this concern, we certainly need to hear directly from the department head himself so that we'll know exactly which direction. This also allows, between now and the second read, enough time to get things in order to make sure they are consistent with the direction that they want to go in.
So, Mr. Commissioner, you're asking if you want to hear from the director today, right now?
Well, I think if he's at liberty to bring this information today, I mean, I think the issue is before, so this will be just as good of a time as any. If not, between now and then, I think there needs to be some clear communication from his department with his leadership and direction through to the BOC, through the administrative of your department.
Okay. Mr. Walker, would you approach, please?
I would prefer to get back with you in the next week or so to clarify exactly what the issues are. I'm familiar with the two that were mentioned, the overtime and the contract labor. Also, there was some discussion about the master plan and the funding of that for the coming year. We'll be glad to get back with you this week, clarify that, make whatever corrections again before your second read so that you can carry on and complete the process.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's call for the question, please. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
You said any further discussion?
No further discussion. Call for the question. Right? I'll say aye. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I get it. All opposed have the same privilege. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Next item we have